No sooner we to overcome one problem than appears another. It all seemed tenuously predictable, the endless varieties of our foe. This Fandaniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. Unhinged, perhaps, but no fool. His problematic theatrics gave away about his little plot. We only know he tends to recreate the final days, and the tower will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail. Yep. The creature did resemble the Elder Primal. That may be, but the fact answers to Fandaniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. And to think it's more probable that it's a member born of Ascian magic. Whatever it is, for now we can work close with the eyes, remain vigilant. What is yours, you scholar? I've been seeing this whole time, just know how quickly mortal flames are disposed of the temper. I judge the best to find it with the cure first. As soon as I'm sufficiently recovered, trouble Udon and deliver the porks into our graves, along detailed instructions on their use. It might chance that coincided with some rival troubling tidings. The immortal flames have been constantly agreeing in their truth and imagine negotiating abruptly collapsed. The Usher claims the number of their kind has been abducted, that men are responsible. No one knows the death of the perpetrators yet, but the immortal flames went about investigating the abductions until they come upon the Fandaniel's towers. On the towers, you seem to interest that are not exclusive of Oisian's phenomena. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far as the fair Yansha. That it would seem reasonable they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. You said yourself, we can do little for now and safe remain vigilant. And since we're dealing with the dragon abstinently, at least I believe it would behoove us to listen an aid of authority on such foes. Instidian! Now, just a moment. If it could be persuaded to lend us its lands, I'll be the first to welcome it. But the truth is, we will struggle to find him. You let me cry, don't worry about that. We'll snuff him out, no matter where he is hiding. And if indeed he is hiding, we have ways to locate him, regardless. So there is no objections, we shall depart at once. Well, rather than sitting around, I think we might go to each city-states and educate them in the use of proxies. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment of rest before leaving? To be fresher for the tasks ahead. What about Kahira? Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. Well, several of the way, the world often needs saving. Oh dear, are you not enjoying our adventure? Or... I wonder what this means. Come on. Come now, I didn't say that. Well, I mean, I share the most carefree experience. There's nothing in this world that I would rather do than write a new futures with you. Write a new future with you. A long future in mind. Without Tom my help, we will stop them, won't we? Together. It's so fitting. It's so funny. Meanwhile, somewhere in Locks. Okay. Is there a way to bring down the tower?
The scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them. Oh, thank goodness for that.
Uh-oh.
Glory be. Glory be to Garibald!
Shit! No, this is bad! They just turned... The towers just turned into their thralls! What now? Hi, Xenos. I know you want to fight for a long time. Oh, of course.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing her that you await her coming. Though I confess, I may have singed her a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
My apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
He is really, really eager to die. He's gonna die in the next expansion. For real.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
So you're not gonna use that sword anymore? I assume that is the... He just broke the katana. But that was on... Shoot. I don't like where this is going. welcome your party. You needn't have gone out to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more busy than basic enough as it is. Honestly, he would wait for me to return before discovering a cure from the temper. Except I can't pretend it has to be involved. Station as far as the eye could see. Nerva and youre, however, were notable in their absence. Perhaps, or they simply lost their will to fight. You see, the catapults had plunged in deathly silence, with one exception. The Imperial powers. It was a busy place before the war, and it's grown busier still, with throngs and soldiers and civilians working their day and night to rebuild it rather than transforming it. That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and assembling behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Ajay, certain aspects of its design were clearly a device with manipulation of ether in mind. Magic tech, in other words. Yet unnerving as edifice itself was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working a very word exchange between them. No one's overseen the construction, even parking orders. As if they were possessed or tempered. They went to investigate more closely, picking up suspicions. It seemed a wiser not to take the risks. They shared the safe some Norianji, which reminds me, I have a message from Alameda. Roban's hosting a meeting in which the villages fight against some of the turrets and requested our presence. No, I'm fine. Those turrets been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back. I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. Before you ask, yes, I'm fine. Before you ask, yes, I'm fine. You need not to worry about me. You need not to worry about me, y'all. It's just, I'd just rather keep myself, just trying to be much quieter now, as you could probably tell. Hey, yo, Andre. Much more I have heard your trivias of my absence. Pardon, I'm glad to see all hail and wool. And I'm glad to see you return for your mission, Ranger. I trust Thinker makes you feel welcome. Well, this is Alphinaud's merry band. Huh? Oh. Oh, by the way, Thanker's about 6 soul older than most of us, right? It's when I twin this summer, I screws to my proportions and my toys worked out over me nonetheless. Oh, further mostly. We need to go to a few things before we set out. Huh? Does this have to do with the travelers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You gotta be the go-to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? That must mean... okay.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. There's no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoi's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
But...
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered.
An ear-splitting roar.
But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
What?
Oh. I was not expecting.
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
Oh. I see.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside. So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamolder and Vamar at Ralga's Reach as well.
You don't mean...
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fordola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Eldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, Ray. It means a lot, you know. You coming with me.
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light, or Alfino, for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this Lunar Bahamut.
Oh, bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru! Oh, I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian. And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut. But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
There be dragons. Well, to Ishgard then. To Ishgard then. Well, to Ishgard then. He might have already left. Maybe he went to Alice Lane. If that was the case. If that was the case. If that wasn't the... Maybe he left her at Alice. Maybe he might have left before we could catch him. But to where, I don't know. Maybe he left before we catch him. So it's hard to say.
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
Yes, but... Ah.
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
It has.
Too long?
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alphino. quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
I am not Alphino! If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light side. To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long.
Alize had nothing to say.
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
At least someone's having a good time. You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald. I wouldn't be so sure. He still loves nothing better than the sound of his own voice.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azis La.
Azis La? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Tiamat.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azis La, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation.
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azis La together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard. I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt.
That's so cute. That is super hilarious. Alright, we're back here again. For like what, the second time or third time? Nah. let's just say it helped that Midgard Summer was there to introduce me. Wow. I too met with Tiamat. After Dragon's long war came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who fought her own war against a man in another age. I wished to know she had harbored false intentions. I asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. She felt for us from the Bahamut burns undead. It torments her even now. That hug was a part of me. I feel his motion is my own. I know that he would not let his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Alright, Stydian, lead the way. Tiamat awaits. This way. There she is. That dragon there. Why did the music suddenly kicked up just now? To think a man responsible for this, and so much else that the dragon cat has suffered. So this is one of the great seven worms that's confined. Her presence is overwhelming.
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
Much like those held here in Asisla. If dragons who worship Bahamut are required to summon him. That must mean...
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished. Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
She is far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated so far. If we were to remove her restraint, only to find the process have failed, it would be hard-pressed to contain her. I know exactly where to look. I gather you're not as young as you look. Indebted to her leave for leaves and hot water? I think not. It's the flagship. Just happens to be carrying around with you. Why does the music keep on turning on wherever you're just next to Tiamat? I don't understand. I'm gonna lose myself in tears if I just don't leave this place. There we go. That's much better. I could not think that I would lose myself to tears. Oh boy. Bahamut, my beloved, would that peace we found in Mercedia could have lasted eternally, but alas it was not meant to be. The ancients saw that and all creation are no more wicked. It was at their behest that the men army came first unto Mercedia, unto our home. Tale began where Bahamut and I left our father's soul, and took wing in a search of place to make our armory. Beyond the southern ocean east of the lost fertile land, would have come to Mercedia by the children of men, though many years were come to pass before they crossed seas. those children of men arrived on shore, no foot they set to those in those places which we held in dominion. Such is their fear of dragonkind, as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as they went, ship by ship they arrived in our horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves.
Almost there! This is it, Angelo!
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed. Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
By the gods!
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan. He flies for the largest Amalja settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
I wonder if Freysagar knows. Well, she's gone. I could sit here for hours listening it. I already sent word to the others. We will rendezvous at the Hall of Flames. Let us kill Alphino and be on our way. I know some of you can do the rest, but I'm starting to say Tarfel has other plans. Bagat is already under siege. Happily, the Mortarflames just tried to join the defensive effort, Marshal Tippin up at their head. turn them a chance to claim the new thrones. Unless it is incapable of doing so. We have no roof. So this is the Lunar Bahamut, eh? Ah, so the Lunar Bahamut, as he calls it. As Fandaniel calls it. Alright, let's go then. Oh. Akmor. Stab. Ooh. I think Nepog used to the... No, this kind of reminds me of the Nehog fight, where he just spams a lot, where he just keeps doing that a lot recently. Wherever his HP is gonna do like a certain point, that just makes it really difficult for anyone to just stay still, basically. Oh. He just went for the dive bomb, and yet no single Mega Fire hit. Oh, I think this is the, this is a different kind of final, assumedly. Oh, I'm fortunate. Giga Flyer. Phase 2? Oh yeah. Ugh. Fandaniel may or may not know that I'm a Bahamut Slayer or something like that. I don't know if that really is the case though. It's kind of hard to say. Oh my. Alright. Are you doing stuff? There we go. Well done. Easy game. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. Oh well. We defeated Lunar Bahamut. All accounted for.
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well.
The chieftain?
Long have our peoples waged war, but no more. Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice.
You will make peace with Udon then?
The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust. It is the Garleans who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause, till we meet again.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
But what about the tower? Oh, I forgot. Of course. What? What's going... Oh my. What the...
What in Ralga's name happened here?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
They might be dead by then.
Get back!
No! What have I done?
Tripped over the alarm, it seems.
It's too late for them! We're leaving, now!
Uh-oh. This can't be good. Oh my!
No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together!
No. Are you serious? Oh man. It summoned first Lunar Bahamut and now it summoned Ifrit? A Lunar Ifrit? Oh no. This is bad. I think he might be dead, man. He might be dead, man. I don't think he's coming back. Well, I should have known that you'd be the one to end it. Maybe now Tiamat will find some measure of solace. When the dust settles. I doubt the dust will settle anytime soon. What? Dragged away by the other. What caused him? Very well. With Lunar Bahamut defeated, I doubt there is more will arise soon. Not that it matters, of course.
Fordola, have you been waiting here all this time?
Well?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
Nay.
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
It's too serious. Yeah, it's too much. I think the one is a bit too serious.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps I could have...
Oh!
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
Whoa!
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
Life is precious! To grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. The world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot will be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
You're not wrong there, Instidian.
Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
It is now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within.
I guess that would explain by a lot of things. But if it's summoned, I guess that would explain a lot, all things considered. But
certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visits to the Imperial capital. Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities.
Such as?
For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
The Grand Companies? Is that wise? Is that really wise?
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now.
Would that be so easy?
After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Pagelfarm. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
Unto dawn.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Unto dawn, then.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Alphana knows only too well that sacrifices are an unavoidable part of the conflict. If there's no reason to linger, I will take my leave. Tomorrow respite. Well, as Insidian would say, if there's any reason to remain, not to linger here, I would leave. I think. Of course. Huh? Our camera is nearly eagerly wait to cry because it has a few words that she came to discuss, one of which concerns you, Tiamat, believe it or not. You will join us, won't you? Fine. Stidian. Goodness gracious. If I refused, she would only pursue me. I think he missed out on a lot of things. Let's get this over with, shall we? Well, off we go then.
Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoro's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
What?
It is possible the ancient knowledge preserved within our archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance believed to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing. A topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
Which is it? Near the end of Dragon Song War or that day in Crystarium? No word of so no mention of the, so there's no, Hydaelyn hasn't spoke to me since, she wasn't speaking to me in Crystarium, but I would assumed it was the near the end of the Dragon Song War. So that's the last time I heard from her.
When you regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the first, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiar.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in her judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Krile, I made inquiries of my own. And as far as I'm able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
Except Nymphilia.
During my time in the first, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through me. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Nymphilia herself.
Indeed.
That's true.
And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Nymphilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular.
Okay. Athanal.
Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again. Will you join us?
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. Idealistic to a fault. But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
Dahira, smile.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
Yeah.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Charlian, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. Forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
Take care. Take care, Cryle. And be careful. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Oh! What in the... Why is there so many swords and spears now?
Well, does this one meet with your approval?
Ooh.
Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
He knows way too much.
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance.
He knows too much. He knows way too much.
But the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken.
You know, he could have easily killed you if he wanted to.
Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
He's talking about Shinryu.
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove
Okay.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use.
But there's so many weapons for Xenos to choose. And yet...
Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Which is...
Well, not quite what I was expecting, though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
What did he pick? What did he pick? I hope it's not a scythe, is it? Company we keep. A scrap of news. Okay. Lunar primals have been popping over the places, but the Alliance has the situation well in hand. Thanks to some report to Hooray Boulder and the others. Right. Surprise. Okay. Royal Palace. The Royal Palace? Why so soon? I would rather be non-interrogated. Fair point. Well, Fandaniel and Oriange will be staying around for a bit. In the meantime, of course, we better not forget what happened in the... Well, it's hard to say, really. You know, I'm just happy to see Tiamat back in its place. As a dragon. That's a great worm. Now it can test us more than anything else. The high-ends here, as for everyone else. Hello? Oh. Oh wow, I was expecting... Wow. That's awesome. All the beast tribes are here. I count 6.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would! Beyond forgiveness, these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay! Freed our people must be!
Understatement.
We too would see your kin liberated. But ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
To take down the towers?
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
You had a pretty good point.
Y'shtola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
Well...
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied. In this chamber I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome.
We would not forget Gerhira is also... Oh, well... Hard to say. Jeez. I was expecting...
I beg your pardon?
What is it, Sword? Do not express your passion thus. A little pretty will indulge, perhaps. Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We shall harden or play our part.
We kobolds have not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future as allies united in purpose.
Make mock of the Ixal the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets! Pits brother against brother! Free them from his grasp, we shall!
The Paragon? The Paragon? But what if... the Paragon? But what if...
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
Yeah.
We accept! We accept! Praise me!
Indeed. Yeah.
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Nymphilia were here to see it.
Thancred.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Hawksleys. But we're moving in the right direction.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern. But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord.
Yeah. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
Huh? I mean, since we're on the one side of the Eorzea, we would call that. I wonder what this means. I want to know what this means. I could definitely go and look back on it, so... This would do.
But that's the name I...
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
Aye, in that we shall ever be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
Alphinaud.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
Alphinaud. Go on. Of the sacrifices that we made, the lives lost, and the inevitabilities that I still struggle to accept. Many and more. How might we be of service? The slips. Armed forces found on the self-same goal in mind, no less. True, but... As if you have to ask. Give us your thoughts on the Crystal Braves.